Good morning, everybody. I hope you're doing fantastically well. It is Connor here with a little bit of a spring in my step because Leeds United have been linked with 4 players this morning and allegedly have put a bid in to one of the clubs and that has been rejected. But the fee is a little bit nuts. The players are absolutely nuts. And I'm feeling a little bit nuts myself. So let's get into it. Unbelievable players being linked with Leeds United within the past sort of 14 to 16 hours. Let's get into it, everybody. But before we start here on the One Leeds Fan Channel, I'd like to say a big thank you to everybody who sent out really kind messages yesterday when I came on and essentially said that wasn't in the best place. So thank you so much. Had an abundance of messages, which I didn't expect. I still need to reply to a lot of you. So thank you. I really, really do appreciate it. But overall, I'd just like to say a big thank you to everybody who signed up to the Patreon, as well as about 126 of you now, I think. I'm going to be doing a comparison between 2 of these players later on my Patreon account, which will be released today. I think you'll all really enjoy that. So head on over. So without any further ado, let's get into it, shall we? So allegedly, last night, according to several sources, several good sources as well, Leeds United had a bid rejected for ex-Liverpool target, only in January, by the way, ex-Liverpool target, Otavio, who's been playing in the Portuguese league for a number of years now, 27 years of age. I think he's got 14 assists this season, about 6 or 7 goals, and he's always been, a really nice player, Otavio, a really, really good player. Can play on the right-hand side, can play on the left-hand side, and in attacking midfield as well, can play in a central role. So it's interesting that Leeds have gone that route. It's interesting that, the attacking midfield route is something that Leeds using as a little bit of a preference in terms to a winger, although some of these links might sort of deviate that preference. But yeah, I really like Otavio. I mean, he's always been there, hasn't he? He's always been linked to the top clubs. He's always been linked to the Liverpools, the Bayern Munichs, the PSGs. And it's interesting that apparently Leeds have officially had a bid rejected. Yeah, a lot of intelligence in his football play, a lot of technique, low centre of gravity, vision, awareness, lovely balance, a good use of both feet as well. Very Coutinho-esque, but a lot stronger. And someone who you admire from afar, really. You admire from afar. I never thought that Leeds would be in the conversation to even stump up any sort of fee for Otavio. But there you go. The only one thing that stands out for me when it comes to the transfer, because, guys, we can't get too excited, even though we know we want to, about Otavio, is he did just sign a contract extension about a year ago, I believe, with Porto, which was a 5-year contract extension, which just shows how much they rate him. So Leeds United, they've had a bid from Porto, allegedly rejected, according to several decent sources. But I feel it's going to be a lot of money to get him out of that contract. You've got to stump up that fee for players. Got 4 years left remaining on his contract. So next in line, Junior Hamid. I should say Hamid Junior Traore. Can't profess to know that much about this guy. Leeds were linked with him last night. Allegedly, it's between Leeds and Leicester for his signature. So, yeah, he's a player for Sassuolo, an Ivorian international, around about 20 million. He's got, I think it's about 7 assists this season. 7 assists, 4 goals. But allegedly, it's between Leeds and AC Milan, which seems to be a theme with us and AC Milan at the minute. In for his signature. It is also apparently AC Milan who are interested in Otavio and AC Milan who are interested in these other 2 targets who I'm very excited about. But yeah, Junior Hamid Traore, only 22 years of age as well. Looks like a decent player, a central attacking midfielder as well. So yeah, Leeds are clearly very, very keen on getting an attacking midfielder in, not just an out-and-out winger. If he is, an attacking midfielder, he can have that strand of being a winger. But, it looks like the primary focus for Victor Orta and the recruitment team is to get an attacking midfielder in. And that's where this guy comes in, Cody Gakpo. Now, I can't believe Leeds are in for him. It's been reported by Fabrizio Romano, the best guy in the business for me, that Leeds United, he is one of our replacements. One of our replacements for Rafinha. Now, this guy is a winger, everybody. This guy is a winger, but the beauty about Cody Gakpo is he can play anywhere along the front line. As I was saying to you guys before, the Eredivisie is a great league to pick up some talent. On my 5 players to replace Rafinha, I've picked out one talent as well who hasn't been mentioned yet. from the Eredivisie, who's a very good player. You know, you can get really good value for players, and the players have sort of, you know, that not only the Dutch but the Belgian, the German, they move from the closer countries as well to get the you know, the big shot with Ajax and PSV and Feyenoord and teams like that. Maybe if they're not at the top spectrum of the German and the Belgian league at the minute. So it seems like a really good production line as well. So yeah, left winger, 27 appearances this season, 13 goals. 14 assists, powerful, about 6 foot, but plays like he's 5'8", you know, really, really good on the ball, good dribbler, quick, as I said before, really, really powerful. The powerful attribute stands up to me, to be quite honest with you. Be excellent on set pieces, means we'd be able to vary it up a little bit. Very dynamic. He's always willing to take the opponent on, which I absolutely love in any sort of winger. Now, his best attribute, for me, it's not only receiving the ball with his back to goal, but it's his first touch. We literally have a contender here. If he comes to Leeds United, for someone who has a better first touch than Jack Harrison. So there we go. But yeah, I'll be speaking more on Cody Gakpo on my Patreon video today, but that's a really, really exciting one. If you're interested in your World Soccer magazines, World Soccer, I've got a subscription for 12 months, and they've actually done an entire piece on Cody Gakpo. I believe it was last month. The other one was Brendan Aronson as well, so it'd be great. Maybe Victor Orta's scouting mission is just from the World Soccer mag. But yeah, okay, everybody. Last but certainly not least, Charles Ketelaere. Now, this is mental. This is absolutely mental that Leeds are linked with this with him. Confirmed by Fabrizio Romano. CDK is someone who, you know, a lot of people do know of if they watch, you know, European leagues. He's played against PSG, Dortmund, Man City this season. He plays in the same side as Noah Lang, and he's got a much higher ceiling than Noah Lang. He's a better player than Noah Lang, which I've spoken about the off-the-field issues with Noah Lang. But when we're looking at on-the-field issues, he's a fantastic player. CDK is a better player than him. He's better. He's got a higher ceiling. Off the ball, high presser, great tackler from the front. One of the best tacklers from the front in an offensive position you'll see. His vision is something quite spectacular in Europe at the minute. He's 6'4", which means, you know, if you wanted to play him up front, you can play him up front. Obviously, Jesse Marsh loves that target man, you know, playing off the front man. CDK is that. He can play left wing, right wing. He's quick. He's really got everything. He's got absolutely everything. His finesse is just fantastic. Probably should be getting a few more assists when you look at his goal rate. But his close control is fantastic. Uses his body exceptionally well, and he is. I mean, excuse me, everyone. He's number one. He's an attacking midfielder, and if I'd have known we were in for that quality player, I did say to you guys that I think we are going to make some big signings. But CDK is. I mean, I won't say he's on the level of Rafinha, but he's probably the closest you're going to get to Rafinha. He's a fabulous football player, and his room for development is there. I watched his last game because it's obviously a massive game in Belgium. And it was I think yeah, it was. So against Anderlecht. I don't know if I was trying to figure out then if it was home or away. But I was watching the game, and you know, I had nothing on the day, and it was just a good game of football, a standard game of football. But he just ran the show. He ran the show. He was absolutely superb, Ketelaere. And he stood out when he played against Man City. He stood out when he played against Dortmund, PSG. But imagine that in the domestic league. He's tearing it up at the minute. 33 appearances. I think he got 15 goals and 7 assists. The problem is you got Milan in for him as well. You got Leicester in for him. You know, he's a top young talent. But it's great to see Victor Orta is actually going for these sort of players. You know, we're not just going for, you know, high-profile players in the Spanish league. We're looking around a little bit, and these are top players that we're linked with. Top players, even when you look at Junior, you know, he clearly is a top player. He's clearly a top operator. You got a number of clubs in for him. So really exciting news when it's come to the transfers this morning. We're not talking about Adama Traore, but CDK and Otavio and Cody Gakpo. Unbelievable. Let me know what you think in the comment section.